I discovered my closest friend groping my wife during a camping trip, and she responded with a smile. Later, I stumbled upon her tablet filled with messages plotting their future together after leaving their partners. My wife, 30, and I, 32, had just returned from a weekend camping getaway with two other couples, longtime friends. The trip was enjoyable, but an incident on the final morning left me rattled. As we packed up to leave, I was loading our vehicle when I glanced over and saw my wife and my friend at the campsite, a short distance away. She was bending down to grab something, and in that brief moment I caught him reaching out, grabbing her waist and sliding his hand to her backside. She brushed his hand off quickly, but instead of being upset, she flashed him a playful grin. It happened in a flash, maybe a second, but it hit me like a blow to the chest. I looked around. No one else seemed to notice. His wife was busy packing their car and the other couple was chatting farther off. The drive home was tense. My wife tried to chat, but I was distracted, replaying the scene in my head. When she asked why I was so quiet, I brushed it off, saying I was stressed about work. In reality, I was reeling. I couldn't bring myself to mention it, fearing she'd dismiss it as my imagination. I spent the day on autopilot, barely slept that night, and struggled to focus at work the next day. My mind was racing, second-guessing every detail. The rest of the trip had been great, with no red flags. Part of me wondered if I'd misread the situation, but her smile, so casual, so friendly, felt wrong for such a boundary-crossing moment. I adore my wife. We've been together since our first year of college, and I've never doubted her loyalty. She's my closest confidant. But now, there's this gnawing feeling I can't shake. I've never snooped before, always trusting her fully, but now I'm tempted to check her phone. It's locked with a passcode, so I wouldn't even know where to start without her noticing. This is tearing me apart, and I know I need to act. Should I try to access her phone? And if so, how, given its password-protected update one? Long story short, last week I confirmed my wife of 4 years, together for 12, has been unfaithful with my friend. I stumbled upon this by chance, but later found undeniable proof. I haven't confronted her yet. They're still in touch, exchanging messages, including explicit ones. I'm not angry yet, just deeply hurt and mostly numb. When my parents passed away a few years ago, I felt a similar numbness while grappling with grief, so I know the emotions will hit hard soon. For now, I'm following advice to prepare. Consulting lawyers and getting my affairs in order before confronting her. My mind is strategizing, but my emotions haven't caught up. I'm using this clarity to gather as much information as possible to make informed decisions. I know I sound detached, but this numbness is shielding me from the pain of her betrayal. Before the full weight of her actions hits me, I want advice from those who have been in my shoes. How did you decide whether to stay with or leave a cheating partner? For context, I'm 32, she's 30, and we have no children. Update 2. I've been holding it together since discovering the truth last week, but this morning it all crashed down. It was triggered by something trivial. I was in my home office, sorting through emails, when my wife brought me coffee before leaving for work, wished me a good day, and kissed me. The realization of what I'm about to lose hit me like a tidal wave. After she left, I broke down, crying for hours. The sadness, anger, and rage overwhelmed me. I thought about the 12 years we've built together. I don't know if I'll ever understand why she did this. I'm still monitoring their conversations via her tablet, which they haven't stopped. Yesterday, they met up, planning to go to a motel, but ended up at his place when his wife left to visit her ill mother. They talked about me. I'm furious at both of them. Not only am I losing my wife, but also a close friend who stood by me at our wedding and during my parents' funeral. 12 years wasted because they couldn't control themselves at it. Please don't tell me to leave her. I'm already planning to. I have lawyer consultations scheduled in the coming days to choose the right one before starting the divorce process. I'm venting to strangers because this is excruciating and the weight of it feels crushing. I lost my parents 2 years ago, and now I'm losing the only family I have left. I'm not okay. I'm deeply depressed. On top of that, I have to keep up appearances until she's served, when all I want to do is scream update 3. I found her tablet, which wasn't password protected, and it's linked to her phone. She's been using Telegram to communicate with him. I'm still reading their messages, but it's clear she's cheating. I'm holding it together to make smart moves without messing this up. What should I do? Confront her when she gets home? Go to his house and confront him. Please help Edit 1. Thanks for the advice. I didn't confront her. I've locked myself in my home office, claiming I'm catching up on work. She's not suspicious. I kept the tablet, which she hasn't used in ages, so she won't notice it's gone. I've photographed their messages as a precaution. They've been communicating for at least 8 months via Telegram, sharing explicit photos, messages, and plans to go public after leaving me and his wife. I can't believe she'd betray me like this. Tonight, she sent him a suggestive photo on her way to the gym, then came home and tried to initiate intimacy. I declined, citing work. I'm confused and struggling to think clearly, so I'm following advice to consult a lawyer and gather evidence. I also saw suggestions to separate our finances. We co-own our apartment and share bank accounts. My parents passing 2 years ago left me a substantial inheritance, which she knows about but can't access. Do I need to protect that fund if it comes to divorce? We don't have kids at it too. I work from home sometimes and had no meetings this morning, so I spent it researching lawyers. I've scheduled 2 consultations for tomorrow, but most can't see me until next week. I plan to inform his wife with proof once I've secured a lawyer to protect myself. I'll give her time to prepare before deciding my next steps, like confronting my wife. I'm not angry, more numb and nauseated when I think about their messages, especially the explicit ones. I feel like I'm living someone else's life, and I don't know how long I can maintain this facade without her noticing. Thanks for the support, Edit3. I'm overwhelmed by the support and advice. Not much has changed since yesterday. I'm keeping busy with work and the gym. The anniversary of my parents' passing is a month away, and she knows it's a tough time for me. When she asked why I seemed off, I said I was thinking about them. I have lawyer consultations lined up, mostly next week, a few today. I'll update after choosing a lawyer and understanding my options. Edit 4. I found an excellent lawyer who drafted divorce papers in days. They were filed this morning. I'm in a no-fault jurisdiction, so the infidelity evidence can't be used in court. My inheritance is safe since I never used it for marital expenses. Our condo, a wedding gift from both our parents, 50-50 down payment, will need to be divided. Either one buys the other out or we sell it. On Saturday, I met his wife for coffee, choosing that day because my wife and her husband were on an overnight trip together, per their tablet messages. She was supposedly at her sister's helping with the kids, and he was on a work trip. In reality, they were at a hotel, paid for by him. I showed his wife their Telegram messages, including photos. She was shocked, having noticed his distance but attributing it to work stress. She had no suspicions of infidelity, especially with my wife, her friend. We talked, and I gave her my lawyer's contact as she considers her options. Sunday night, my wife returned, acting affectionate and saying she missed me after spending the weekend with him. Her ability to deceive is chilling. I recorded our conversation legal in my one-party consent state per my lawyer's advice. I asked her to be honest, then posed questions. Do you love me? Yes. Are you happy with me? Yes. Have I been a good husband? Yes. Have I ever hurt you? No. So why are you cheating? She froze, then denied it. After some back and forth, she admitted to kissing a guy at a bar during a girls' night out months ago, claiming it was a drunken mistake. I laughed at the absurdity. She didn't just cheat once. She's been doing it repeatedly. When I pressed, she swore it was a one-time thing. I handed her my lawyer's card, said I'd filed for divorce, a slight bluff to gauge her reaction, and told her to contact me through him. She cried, begged, then gaslit me, saying I was throwing away our life over a mistake. The worst was her saying I had no one else, echoing my words about her being my only family after my parents' death. I packed a suitcase and left for a hotel, where I'm staying until I find an apartment. The divorce was officially filed yesterday. Update 4, continued. My wife was served divorce papers last week. I'm still at the hotel but close to securing an apartment. I forgot the tablet when I left but retrieved it when I returned for clothes. Apparently, my wife had a falling out with a friend she accused of telling me about the bar kiss. That friend has cut contact. His wife kicked him out and he's staying at his sister's. He spent 2 nights at our place with my wife. She's been texting her sister who knew about the affair. My wife hired a lawyer and complained to her sister that she can't access my inheritance, calling it unfair. Here's the kicker. Their plans to move in together and go public have cooled since she learned she won't get my inheritance. She messaged me, asking to pause the divorce, claiming she loves me and everyone deserves a second chance. Without the tablet, I might have believed her remorse. But knowing she's been with him all week, I see this as a reaction to losing access to my money. It's painful. I'm following my lawyer's advice not to respond. Her disrespect, not just to me but to my parents who treated her like family, is infuriating. I plan to use that inheritance for our future kids' trust fund, a plan she knew about. I met his wife again. She's struggling with her mom's health and this betrayal. She was reconsidering divorce after her husband's apologies, but after I showed her their recent messages, she changed her mind. She recalled him calling me lucky for my inheritance shortly after my parents' death, which she confronted him about at the time. Now she wonders if my wife's affair was partly motivated by my money. Their behavior disgusts me. I'm trying to care for myself. Started therapy, hitting the gym intensely and avoiding alcohol mostly. Friends say I seem cold, but it's how I cope without breaking down. Nights are tough. I struggle to sleep, sometimes drink to cope, not proud, and occasionally cry myself to sleep. Update 5. 2 years ago today, my parents died in a car crash, teaching me how cruel life can be. I clung to my wife, my only family, and leaned on my best friend for support. Now, on this anniversary, I'm counting losses. My parents, my wife, my best friend. I've never felt so alone or broken. Update 6. I punched her affair partner. It wasn't planned. I've been trying to stay calm, but he pushed me too far. Leaving my office today, I saw him parked near my car. He approached, wanting to talk. I told him to leave, but he blocked my car, apologizing, claiming the affair just happened without malice, and hoping we could be civil. I warned him to move, but he kept talking. I snapped, shoved him, and punched him, bloodying his nose. I stopped myself from doing more, got in my car, and drove off. Initially, it felt good to hurt him, but now I feel awful for losing control and worry about consequences, like him pressing charges. My anger had been building since Saturday, when I saw them together at our usual bar. They were embarrassed and left quickly. My friends kept me from escalating things then, but today, I lost it. Update 7. My soon-to-be ex-wife told me she's pregnant. I was stunned. There was no mention of a pregnancy in the tablet messages. Her periods are irregular, and she claims she didn't notice missing one last month. She sent a sonogram showing she's 7 weeks along, saying she took a test earlier but waited for the sonogram to confirm. We last had intimacy on October 11, and she insists the baby is mine, hoping it's a chance to reconcile. She told her family at Thanksgiving, and her parents and sister messaged to congratulate me, despite our strained contact. I don't love her anymore and don't want to be with her. I doubt the baby's mine, given her 10-month affair. She's on birth control and we weren't trying for a child. I wanted a clean break, but if this is my child, I'll be pulled back in. I suspect she's manipulating me, possibly for financial support, since her affair plans have faltered. I'll request a paternity test and haven't told my lawyer yet. If it's mine, I'll be there for my child and might pause the divorce for their sake, not hers. I refuse to let her affair partner be in my child's life. I feel lost. I hope your Thanksgiving was better than mine. Update 8. My soon-to-be ex-wife messaged me today, claiming she miscarried. I'm skeptical if the pregnancy was real or a ploy to reconcile. She blamed me for stressing her with the paternity test request and her affair partner for accusing her of chasing my money. Friends told me they had a falling out when she distanced herself from him, insisting the baby was mine. He accused her of wanting me back for financial reasons, medical bills, child support, and our lifestyle. I never responded to her messages about the baby, which she updated via a pregnancy app. It sounds terrible, but I suspect she was never pregnant and dropped the act when I pursued the paternity test. I'm relieved I won't be tied to her for 18 years, but I'm also oddly sad about not having a child. I hope to experience fatherhood someday with the right person.